Hi, I'm Alyson the Crocheter.
And I'm Vivian the Knitter, and this is the Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast.
Hello, and welcome to episode 123 of Keep Calm and Carry Yarn. This is a knitting and crochet podcast hosted by me, Alyson, and my mom, Vivian. I'm coming at you from Scotland.
And I'm recording from Michigan. You might also know me from Pearl and Plum, where I make and sell project bags for knitters and crocheters. My daughter is the brilliant publisher behind Morit, the independent magazine for crocheters. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're listening on a podcast app or watching us on YouTube. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Long time no see.
Yes, it's been a month-ish.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't even know anymore.
Which is the pertinent housekeeping news, which we didn't mention in the last episode. We are scaling back. We are not quitting the podcast business. Business. Air quotes times. This is not a business. But instead of doing 2 episodes a month, we're going to switch to 1 episode a month, which is something we used to do or normally do over the summer anyway. Mm-hmm. So it is now the summer, but I think we'll be continuing that 1 month podcast every once a month going forward.
Because you're so busy with Morit.
Yeah, mostly my life has gotten a lot busier.
And this isn't a business because it costs us money to actually put this out every month. I mean, not a lot of money, but a few dollars a month.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's why the podcast is sponsored by Pearl and Plum.
Yep. Will we jump right into our whips?
I was going to ask how you're doing, but sure.
Okay. How am I doing? I'm doing great. We just got back from Scotland. Me, your dad, and Madeline. So we just saw each other just a few days ago. But we didn't manage to record because we were so busy. She had us
busy or tired.
Busy, yeah. We're either too busy or too tired. It was a good trip. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, with that out of the way, pretty much, and yeah, I would say I'm also doing good, and I'm still suffering the after effects of all these midge bites from our trip, our Scottish trip to the wilderness, and it's summer, so midges, and I swear I keep discovering new bites. Like, I just found one right by my eye, and I was like, was that there before? or what? It must have been. But anyway, okay, now we can jump into our whips.
Okay, whips, because we're totally out of practice. Do you have a whip that you can talk about, sweetie?
Just the one. I started, not very far, a new project, so it just looks like a rectangle. But, so why did I start this project? I started this project because I needed something a bit more mindless than the amigurumi, which I'd finished. It's on the shelf somewhere. And this pattern I had favorited. It is by Rosina Northcott, who is Zines and Roger. It was in an issue of Inside Crochet. So it's like a wrap. So this is like the end. And it'll be like long, like a scarf. Mm-hmm. It's hard to see the pattern because I've picked not a solid yarn. I've picked a self-striping yarn, which is just sort of splotchy in crochet. But you can see there's sort of bits of like slightly more open stitches, like stripes of open stitch. But the idea is that once you've got your big rectangle and you wear it as a wrap, you put buttons on it so you can button up the sleeves or turn it into sleeves.
Oh, okay.
So
it's like a shrug.
Like but I just sort of thought, oftentimes when I'm sat at this desk working my day job, I get cold because I'm not moving, and I've sometimes put a blanket over myself. But I was like, well, if I just have like this, I can use it as a blanket or just as sleeves over whatever I happen to be wearing. So I've used a different sized yarn, but it's like a fairly simple pattern. So we've just sized it the way I want it. The yarn is something I've had forever.
Is it the modem yarn?
It's the modem yarn. Yeah.
Yeah, you have had that for a long time.
Yeah, Rosa Pomar. And yeah, I think I tried to do a few things with it. And I feel like I am betraying crochet, but none of it felt right for, not for the yarn itself, but for the color. Because obviously it's not striping because I'm using US double crochet, so they're very tall. I think you could get like a semblance of a stripe if you crocheted a sock with either slip stitch or single crochet. But I have like 4 skeins of them. So yeah, I'm just doing that. And it's the color is
got pinks
like a natural
and blues
with
and grays.
Yeah, it's like a natural and black with cotton candy colors. So the pink and blue and black and cream.
Yeah, when you guys were little, I don't know who invented or who thought of it. You and Emily used to call them just sleeves, a shrug, because it was just sleeves.
Oh, just sleeves, yeah.
Yeah. Which, because you couldn't remember what it was called. You just that I'm assuming that's fingering weight because it's a sock yarn, right?
Yeah, it's fingering weight.
So like even if you're using a self-striping yarn, self-striping sock yarn to knit a garment, you don't necessarily get stripes because it's longer.
Unless they're like
maybe if you're doing sleeves.
Sleeves, yeah. But I feel like you still would get the sort of longer zips of colors.
Yeah, that's true.
Then I suppose that depending on how many colors there are, you still get like the color pooling.
Yeah, well, it also depends on if it's self-striping with like thin stripes or if it's self-striping with thicker stripes. Because like a lot of the knit picks, they have a taller stripe for the self-striping. So something like that might show up more as like a depending on what you're doing. So is that your only whip?
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I've got 2 whips, and I actually brought my my linen Misurina tee to Scotland to work on. I didn't really work on it that well. Actually, I bound off the hem on the. I feel like I did that on the airplane going there, but then I tried it on. I felt like I should make it just a little longer, so I ripped it out, put it back on the needles, and I actually bound this off on the car ride home from Boston, the bottom. So I'm almost done with the first sleeve. I just have to do the ribbing, and I'm pleased with it. I think I did soak it and just kind of laid it like kind of half-ass blocked it. But I didn't
language.
Pin it. Sorry. Just kind of blocked it. But I think when I'm finished with it, I will spray it down and then block it with pins to make it just a little bit longer. Because there's a lot of give both ways, tall and because it's such a loose gauge. Yeah, I'm very pleased with it.
So you've got what? Lace and cables.
It's got lace up around the neck, and then it's a circular yoke top. So it's got color work, and in between like the flowers, there are cables, like little tiny cables.
Yeah. Like but the cables start in the lace section, yeah?
I don't even remember. Yeah, you're right. It does. The cables do start in the lace section.
Yeah. I don't even think I noticed the cables the first few times I looked at the sweater. Maybe because you half-heartedly blocked it. So I can see the stitches a little better now.
Yeah. So you can definitely see the color work a bit better and the cables. Yeah. So that's what it looks like. It's nice, yeah. I'm happy with it, and I'm glad I didn't do because for the body there are 2 options. One is I can't remember what she calls it. You do some purls like every 3 stitches or something like that, and then you alternate where you do the stitches, the pearls.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. Oh, she just calls it pearl dots. Pearl dots.
Right.
And then, so the second option is do eyelets where you have the pearl dots. And with eyelets, there's like, little tiny holes. And I didn't want people to see my really, 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 really white. I mean, I would have to wear a camisole or something underneath it. And I want to be able to not wear a camisole.
Yeah.
The option of not having to wear something underneath.
I was just gonna say, like, because you were saying before about the contrast of that, like, sort of, what kind of green would you call that? Mike Wazowski green? No. Moss green. The moss green. But it's gray.
Yeah.
And I think even though it, like, yeah, it is subtle, but I quite like that.
Yeah, it's not in your face. I think I'm starting to gravitate towards, like, less contrast between muted
colors. Oh.
Not muted colors, but like less contrast. Like some of the colors that some of the color work things that I've been making doesn't have a lot of high contrast. Right. The things that I'm making for myself personally, that is. I mean, I'm not talking about like that black and white thing that I made, cowl that I made for your grandfather. That's definitely very high contrast. Yeah, the Dickie.
Yeah. I mean, black and white is pretty much the highest contrast you can get, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my first, and I'll definitely, this will be done before our next episode.
You still have, you haven't started the sleeves yet, right?
No, I'm about to rib the first sleeve. I mean, it's not much of a sleeve. It's only 2 inches from the armpit.
Oh, it's a short sleeve.
It's short sleeves.
But I didn't see any sleeves.
But I do have enough yarn that if I decide I wanted to do long sleeves, like, I wear it. It's like, it's not working for me as a short sleeve top. I can, tear out the bind off and make it into long sleeves. Because I have a full skein left that I haven't even touched yet. And I think
Where was the yarn from?
It's Nervous Fibers, and I got it at Perth in September.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was, right. The merino linen yarn, yeah.
Yes. So I'm super happy with this, and I'm hoping I can wear it, probably not in the middle of summer, but maybe, late summer or even the fall. We'll see how that works out. And my second whip is also a new one. And this one is called the Chanterelle Cowl by Maud Cappei, Cappei. And it is a free pattern. And I just wanted to do something a little mindless for travel knitting. And it is, the pattern only calls for one color. And I am using the Herd of Cats yarn that I got in Rhinebeck. And there are, can't even remember, five little mini skeins. And each mini skein is based off of the coloring of rescue cats. And I lost the postcard with the cats on it. I think it might be in Madeline's car. It's not in my, because I was working on this in her car. So I'm just fading the colors. So it starts like this orangey white color, and then there's like a gray and white, and gray and yellow, gray and white, black and white.
Yeah, like, is it not more orange for like?
Yeah, it's orangey. And the last color is more black than white.
And that's like describe the actual pattern of the cowl.
It's eyelets. It's got like little eyelets. Like every 8 rows, you do some eyelets. So it's pretty mindless.
Yeah. Chanterelle, like the mushroom?
No idea. Is Chanterelle a mushroom?
Is that a mushroom?
I have no idea. You're obviously more mushroom informed than I am. I mean, it's a free pattern.
I just watch more MasterChef than you do. It's a type of mushroom. I just watch more MasterChef than you do. Which is to say, I watch MasterChef and you don't.
I don't watch it, yeah. I don't know. Is it available out here? I have no idea. Yeah, so it is very sweet looking, like in one color, but I don't want. So I'm obviously making it a lot longer. If you see, look at the pattern, it's going to be a lot longer than the pattern calls for. But you can end it anytime you want, and I'll just wear it more scrunchy.
Yeah.
Plus, because I
I
want
wonder
to
what the
use.
longest cowl anybody has made.
Well, there's that. I
Especially
did that 3-color cashmere. I think it's called 3-color cashmere cowl by Joji Locatelli. And then if you wear it, it goes like all the way up to here, like you can stretch it all the way up, and you just. I think I gave that to one of your cousins, so I don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't think I didn't use cashmere. I think it was alpaca that I used. Close enough in softness anyway. Yeah. So those are my only 2 whips.
Who? We do our Buzzfeed quiz?
Sure. Buzzfeed. Let's see.
So it says lions and tigers and bears discover the perfect zoo career for you. And do you want to say why you picked this one?
Well, first of all, you and Madeline went to Edinburgh before I was there. You guys went to the zoo, and also she's graduated from college, and she was looking for jobs, and some of the jobs that she was looking at were aquarium/zoo jobs because she has a degree in marine biology. So it just so when I saw this, I go, well, we've been looking at, because she would like show me things and like look at this job here. Like, I don't want you to move to California. Like, and then your dad be showing, oh, look, here's a job. Here's a marine biology job. It's in Hawaii. She's not going to Hawaii.
Well, anyway, if she just went for a little, you could go visit.
I know, but she's not qualified anyway. So I think you have to at least a master's for that job.
Yeah.
So, what did you get?
I got vet or science team.
Oh,
nice. Inquiring and caring mind. That inquiring and caring mind is going to take you places. Many forget that zoos are scientific institutes with a huge amount of research taking place. You'll need to be comfortable working with data and be a great communicator. Will you be a behaviorist researching chimpanzee social structures, or maybe a lab technician monitoring hormone levels in rhinos? I am comfortable working with data.
You are. I got designer or facilities. Got a creative flair? Good with your hands? This might be the right path for you. Building new habitats for species, creating informative signs, or attending to the facilities needed for visitors. These ingenious artisans ensure that the zoo keeps running. They are even responsible for the theming of the zoo, making animals feel at home while connecting zoo visitors to the places in the world where the species originate from. If you've ever wanted to build your own zoo, this is the role for you. Actually, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's something that, I wouldn't be adverse to. Let's see. There were a lot of questions.
There were. So I feel like the third question down was one that, I mean, it feels really, not deep, but I was like, I don't know. Which is most important to you? Friendship, health, determination, knowledge, freedom, or community?
What did you pick?
I went for friendship, but I mean, community is similar, but yeah, I went for friendship.
I couldn't decide, so I picked health because you can't. It's hard to maintain good friendships if you're not well, and if you're not healthy. So health. That's what I picked.
Yeah, I feel like my one probably knowledge was the one that was. Oh, what about you're at a house party? What are you doing?
Telling travel stories.
I said finding the pets. I mean, there's nothing I love more. Well, I don't know. I like when I actually get to like be around a dog that, like a friend's dog or in a comfortable situation, because I love to just lie next to them. If they're like on the floor, I'll be like, I just next to you. And I'll just pet you from here. You can't do that in public.
No, that would be frowned upon.
Mm-hmm.
What about favorite Disney movie?
Out of Lion King, Zootopia, Encanto, Frozen, Moana, Inside Out. Went for
Mm-hmm.
Moana.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think my second favorite would have been Lion King.
Same. I've only watched all those other ones once. Maybe I've only watched Moana once, but
I haven't.
I like the songs.
Me too. I don't. I mean, you have it on your playlist. I've never seen Inside Out. Frozen. I don't know that I've actually watched it from beginning to end. Okay.
And then, lastly, what would you bring to a desert island? Lighter, first aid kit, weapon, your pet. No pen and pencils or compass.
So that was hard because, like, I wouldn't want to bring my pet because my pet would suffer.
Yeah.
I thought about that. So I said first aid kit
Same.
because I'm going to be practical.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I want to
almost
know.
said compass, but then I was like, nah, I can use the sun. It's fine.
I want to know what your favorite big cat is. What you picked.
Part of me wanted to go for snow leopard because they're just so fluffy, but I was true to my middle school self and went for jaguar.
Okay. Okay. You dressed up as a snow leopard in second grade.
Yeah, I remember that was the costume that you got the sweats from.
And then I
craft store and
painted.
Yeah. What was Emily?
She was a princess frog.
Ah.
Not a frog prince, but a frog princess. I picked cheetah. I love the way their vocalizations, like the ways they make sounds. The babies, they chirp like birds. It's so cute. And then the big cats, they don't roar. They almost sound like they're kind of similar to meows. But and it's really cute. So
and
they purr.
The videos, yeah. When I don't know if they're like in sanctuaries or whatever, but they have their little like dog companions.
Oh yeah.
That's always cute.
Because in the wild they would probably eat them, right? Okay. Well, I don't have any FOs. I'm pretty sure you don't have any FOs. Do you?
No, I don't. No, don't be silly.
We've been too busy traveling and stuff, and I'm getting ready for another trip.
Yep. Well, let's see. I was trying to think in our traveling what the closest to crafty content we got to. We saw alpacas.
Yeah.
That's kind of yarny fiber related. Not that they had any yarn or anything for sale, but we were literally living next to the alpacas for a few nights.
Yeah, we got to feed them. They're so cute. And I love the way they just like kind of like just follow each other. There were and the ducks, we saw a duck parade like every single day, multiple times a day. So that was really cute. And there were sheep in the distance. And not the far distance, but in the next field over there were sheep.
Oh yeah, we could hear them constantly. Because we were glamping, so we were in like a big canvas tent that was like on a wooden platform with like wooden walls in between with like beds and running water and electricity. So truly glamping.
And Wi-Fi.
And Wi-Fi, yeah. And yeah, I think when the bathroom fan finally turned off and like we were all in our beds, all the lights were all off, and I was in bed next to Sam, and Sam kind of whispered to me, "It's gonna be so quiet." And then it was really quiet. But then he goes, "I can hear a sheep." It was like middle of the night, but they were still, well, not quite middle of the night, but still at it.
Well, it never got super, super dark, so it's not like it was like, the dead of night. But they were so cute. We had a great trip. That was the first time that your dad has actually like gone like vacation mode in Scotland. I mean, he's been to Scotland, but it was more family time over the holidays, and we didn't do that much touristy stuff. And we did a couple things, but not like super touristy.
So this time I don't think I mentioned. So we went to the Isle of Arran via Glasgow. So did a couple things in Glasgow, and then we were on the Isle of Arran for 3 nights in our little glamp site, and we did some walks, did like the King's Caves, we found the dinosaur footprints, lots of rock pooling, because as previously mentioned, Madeline has just graduated with her marine biology degree, so she was super into that, just like putting her hands into the seaweed and finding things, turning over rocks and finding crabs and poking anemones, and she found a little baby sea urchin, and I found a little baby starfish, and I was too scared to pick it up, so she picked it up for me and then put it in my hand. I could feel its little feet grabbing me at the bottom. And what else did we went? We did some golfing, more air quotes, and I went to the cocktail bar on the beach.
Oh, that was really nice.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, even despite the wind, it was, we were, dressed for the weather, so we were fine. But just the air was just so clean.
Yeah.
And the water was clear. Madeline did a little bit of digging on the beach there. It was just like the perfect way.
Well, speaking of water, we saw porpoises from the ferry. We saw seals on the beach. And me and Madeline and Sam on the ferry, because when our trip over, the water was super still. And we saw
jellyfish.
Lots of I think I looked it up. They were barrel jellyfish, which are the biggest jellyfish in the UK waters. So yeah, lots of wildlife spotting. No otters.
No, we were looking for otters, but we never found any. But we did see the seals were a pretty big deal.
It was literally, we were driving, and I was like, "Wait, stop!" I was like, there was literally a seal just like on a rock, but in the water. But it must have been on a rock, because otherwise it looked like it was just floating above the water, like just above the water. And yeah, so we stopped. I had my binoculars, and then we saw some more seals swimming around, their little heads bobbing. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that was really good.
I do have some Yarny Bits and Bobs, though.
Oh.
Go ahead. This past weekend, I was at the celebration for Jess, who runs Ginger Twist Studio here in Edinburgh, my local yarn store. She's been at it for 10 years.
Wow.
So it was a 10-year little celebration. It was this really cute, very artsy boutique hotel on Royal Terrace, which is just below Calton Hill. If you're ever in Edinburgh, it's a nice place, especially if it's sunny. They've got like a garden in the back, so you can have drinks outside. But even like the bar area is super cute. The owner like collects art, so there's just like paintings and stuff all over the place. But yeah, so Jess invited me as well as Susan from the Journal of Scotch Yarns, and Sarah from Woolly Originals, and Kelly from Made by Kelly O. So it was like a little bit of shopping, but mostly just celebrating and chatting, and a bit of wine, a bit of nibbles. It was really nice, and got to talk to lots of people. It was just a really nice afternoon, and admire, Jess's yarn. She dyed up a new like special anniversary, like it's like this hot pink. She's called it Design of a Decade, I think.
Did you get any?
In like all her bases. I didn't buy anything, but I was really tempted by Kelly's bags, which I hadn't seen them before. And I found out also that she lives super close to me. Like I literally ran into her on my way to the gym this morning. So that's Made by Kelly O, and she makes upcycled bags. So a lot of like, she does like little like card holders and like little bags that would like are about card size, as well as like bigger pouches, and then like more pouches that have a bottom. And they're all zippered, but they are upcycled because she uses plastic bags. So she bonds multiple layers of plastic bags together to create like a new material for the bags. And they're like all in different colors. She uses really colorful zippers to coordinate. And then like, yeah, it's really interesting. Like obviously, some of the bags are just plain colored. She says she gets a lot of the bags she uses are mailers that you get a package from somewhere and it comes in a plastic bag. But then other ones you can recognize as being a bag from a certain brand, or a certain brand must have like a really fun. There was a bag that I this was the one that I really wanted, but I was like, oh, I don't need any more bags. It was a white bag with a black pattern, but the pattern was like little like eyeballs. Yeah, so I think she said the bag came from Tiger. Is that the store called? But yeah, so they must have just had a really playful, either a mailer bag or a plastic bag, and she used that for the outside with like a neon yellow zipper.
I've seen.
And then there was.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No.
I've seen stuff like that, like years ago. We were still living in New York because I remember like people were taking like bags from Disney World and doing that, and I was like, oh, maybe I should. I saved some. Of course, I never ended up doing it.
Yeah. It is really cool though. Like she had one that was like more transparent. I think Susan said it looked like scales, but she said it was because she'd used bubble wrap. And melted that down. And she had one that was quite funny. It was obviously she'd used Waitrose bags like the grocery store, but like in different layers, so you could see through it and you could kind of see the Waitrose logo in like different layers. So I might get a custom made laptop sleeve at some point because that I do need. I need a new laptop sleeve. I don't need a new random pouch.
Yeah, I mean, you and me both. We have so many bags between the two of us. I mean, not just like the stuff, besides the stuff that I make, but also like, I buy some too.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Many pouches, many tote bags.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that a lot of knitters and crocheters have the same problem.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So, yeah, I don't have anything going on. I mean, we flew into Boston from Edinburgh, and we stayed a couple nights with your aunt, and had some family time and saw your grandparents. And then Madeline and I, because we left her car in Boston at your aunt's house, we had to drive her car from Boston all the way to Michigan. And your dad flew home because when we bought the tickets, we had no idea where and what Madeline would be doing, and so I didn't buy return flights from Boston. So it's a 12 plus hour drive without stops. So while we drove through Massachusetts, and then we're in New York, and at some point we're like, let's just drive all the way through. And we did.
Oh, you did the whole drive in one day?
We did the whole drive. We left around 9 o'clock in the morning, and we got home like at 11:15 at night. So it took about 14 hours, including stops, because I was drinking coffee, and so we stopped whenever. But yeah, so we actually drove through Canada.
Right.
And then so after we drove through Canada, and then you entered the U.S. through Detroit. It was only 45 minutes from there, so. Yeah, so we were pretty tired, but we're so happy to be home. The cats were so happy to be home.
Oh,
those cats were so happy for us to be home, and Sushi has been my Louisville Crow kitty for the last 3 days. She.
Do you think she's that clingy because you go away so much, or?
No, I mean, there goes months and months and months when I didn't used to travel as much, and she always slept with me versus your dad or anybody else. So, so the funny thing is, your dad, because we went glamping, his allergies were just ridiculous. It was so bad. So coming home, his allergies are still really bad, and and the first night, I crawled into bed. Your dad was already asleep, and I crawled into bed, and Sushi was at the foot of the bed. And as soon as I laid down, she crawled up to my shoulder because she likes to drape herself over my shoulder. And we were just lying there for about 10 minutes, and I was just starting to relax. And all of a sudden, your dad had this major violent coughing fit. And it scared the bejesus out of me, and it scared the crap out of her. And she's just jumped. I think I have a little bit of scratch mark from her like using me as a springboard. Just jumped like 2 feet up in the air. She landed by our feet. She's like, oh my gosh, what is that? And then slowly it's like, you know, he finally calmed down, and then he's starting to fall back asleep, and she's like slowly making her way like from our feet to our knees to like our hip area, and she's right around our hips area. You start coughing again. And she's like, no, I'm not going to sleep over there by your heads. And then I was like, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. So I took my pillow and Madeline, not Madeline, and Sushi, and I went into the spare room, and I just popped her on the bed, put my pillow there, and then she's like, oh, we're going to do this now? And then so she stayed with me the whole entire night. She didn't leave until your dad fed them breakfast around 7 o'clock. And then she came back into bed, and I only stayed in bed for another maybe 20 minutes after they were fed. And so we were just lying there together, and then I was like, oh, I'm going to get up. And because I always have to pee. The first thing I do when I wake up is I have to pee. And so she's like, oh, you're getting up now? And so she gets up, and she starts walking ahead of me, and she starts walking into our bedroom to where the bathroom that I usually go to. I'm like, no, I'm going into this bathroom. And she turns around like, oh, you're going that way. And she just like trots ahead of me and just sits right there in front of the toilet and watches me pee. So yeah, she does that every morning. Like when I get up, because usually she's been fed already.
She chaperones you to the bathroom.
Yeah, she will like walk me to the bathroom and wait there until I'm done. I mean, sometimes she'll just like go, she'll see me sit on the toilet, and then she's like, okay, you're good. I'm going to go out and have my snack now or whatever.
Yeah.
It's very cute.
Oh.
So yeah, I've got both cats over here with me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just being cute. They're just so clingy right now. Both of them, actually. It was a long time. We were gone for 11 days, 12 days, 11 days, something like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
And of course, Willet is sort of Madeline's cat. And
yes.
I've seen her for a little while.
Yeah, it's been 3 months since he's seen her. And so, yes, he's been sleeping with her every night. And Madeline says he's purring a lot more than he usually does. I think he's just super content that finally there's somebody home with them. I mean, we had friends come in and feed them in the morning and in the afternoon, or in the evening, but, you know, that's not the same. They can't, yeah. So your dad got home a few hours before us, and he said on like my side of the bed there was so much fur. There was so much cat fur right there on my side of the bed. He's like, I had to sticky roller it. So I guess that's where they stayed, or where she stayed.
Sweet babies.
Yeah, that's a lot of, yeah. Okay, that's all the cat news.
Okay. Well, with that, will I do the spiel? We'll say goodbye.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see you in about a month, sometime in July.
Yeah, we'll see you in July. Cool. Well, you can find the show note for this episode and every episode on our website, which is kcacypodcast.wordpress.com. You can follow us on Instagram, also at kcacypodcast. My personal Instagram is Alyson here, and my mom's is upstate_Viv. You can subscribe and rate and follow and review and favorite and all the things on YouTube or wherever else you listen to podcasts. You can join the Ravelry group if you want to. Just search for Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast in the groups tab. So thank you for listening.
And remember to keep calm and carry yarn. Bye.
Bye.